Today I'll be showing you guys what's on my coffee cart, mainly because someone actually hit me up and was like, can you show us what you are using every single day, all the little small pieces of this cart. Also, I'm finally going to be switching away from this tiny Ikea cart and to something a little bit bigger, so it's a great way for me to remember this setup. What I'm going to do is we're just going to swap to the head cam, the GoPro. I'm going to go through and show you what the heck this looks like, and then I'll just show you it all in action and the workflow and all of that by, well, making a drink. So just a fun video. Hope you enjoy. Let's switch over to the GoPro now. Okay, we are at the cart now. This is the top-down view, kind of what I see every single morning or whenever I'm at the coffee cart, which probably isn't mornings anymore. It's every day, all throughout the day. But let's start off with the right side here. So here we have the Timemore Black Mirror. This is just a really great scale for dosing as well as pour overs. I use this specifically for dosing within the espresso setup here. I run 2 scales, and you'll kind of see why when we make drinks. This is the Niche Zero dosing cup. So that kind of lives over here on this scale on the right side. Here I have the WPM pitcher. This is like my favorite pitcher of all time. It's super fun to use. It's super nicely weighted, and I really like the upper spout here, especially for pouring, I guess, more intricate designs. Up here, knockbox, just a generic knockbox, nothing fancy. And then here, I usually keep a lot of my coffees. This, by the way, is Cosmic Dust Coffee Roasters Ceres Sky, which is our Espresso Club monthly coffee. Should be super fun. Can't wait to try that out. Over here, back here, is our Matcha, which is it's part of a fundraiser. We're going to be making a video about this just to showcase that it'll be coming in the future. And then here are some beans, which are I roasted because I'm planning on starting up a small little coffee brand and been testing a bunch of these beans here. So these kind of just perpetually live on the table. And here is a WDT tool. This is resin 3D printed, and then these are actually PLA 3D printer nozzles here, which then go into this piece of foam so I don't, well, poke myself every single time I use it. So that kind of is over here. Niche Zero, obviously, everyone knows what this is, but I like to keep this, which is well, can show you this right now, magnetic portafilter dosing ring. Ooh, very nice. And this really just allows me to grind directly into the portafilter. You'll see this all in action when we make a drink, but I like to put that right there. And then if I can lock that guy in. And over here, which these two things kind of exist everywhere, actually, is I just really like to have this brush here because I brush off the grinds off the tamper. I brush off everything here. It's really good for cleaning. Bean scoop, so I can, well, go in and scoop beans out and then put them into the dosing cup here for weighing purposes. So that's really this section of it. And then let's go into, I guess, the fancier stuff, and then we'll go into the left side here, which you can probably already see. But here, decent V3 tamper. I really like this tamper a lot. It's been awesome for me. It has a really nice weight to it. It always compacts the grinds in the way I want them to. Might make a video about this one day, but good tamper. Then this is the decent tamping cradle that exists. Yeah, that's this stuff here. Now let's move on to the serious stuff, which is start off here. I don't have a cupped rail or anything on the DE1, but that's kind of why this thing exists here. Just the bripe. You'll see a fun video about that coming soon. Put the bripe there. You get the DE1 here, which is the 1.3 Pro model, and then my Acaia Lunar that just lives on the drip tray on this machine. It doesn't really move from here unless I'm, well, bringing this around. And then I have a set of towels. I have this towel here, which is a softer towel made for glassware. I use this to wipe down the mirrored panel of my DE1. And then just the standard towel that you can use to wipe out everything, wipe the steam one down. And that's kind of just the top of this cart. Let's move forward and look into the rest of the cart, and you kind of can see where I place things, and maybe that will give you some cool ideas. Okay, so let's look in the shelves real quick. So shelves, I just keep a bunch of random stuff. This is where I keep my third wave water. I keep some random spare baskets, tools, things like that. And then in this thing here, we have other, well, baskets and items we don't use. Like, I don't use a distributor anymore because it kind of sucks. This is the bottom part. So this cart has 2 sections here. Over here on the right is where I basically keep all coffee, like pretty much a lot of coffee. So these are my Airscape. This is my Airscape and the generic container. We have like so many different coffees here. Have, by the way, new logo, really cool from Papermoon Coffee there. Have some like espresso cups. We have the, this is a spouted portafilter, which is pretty fun. But this is where I kind of keep boxes, other stuff I don't really use, the Cafeza, the coffee here. And then on the bottom here is where I keep stuff related to pour overs. This is like my Chemex filters. I don't really do much of this. And then to the left is like non-coffee related things. So like our, cheap matcha here, our hot chocolates, all of that. And then there's just a bunch of stuff here, but this is a really tiny cart, so I'm trying to maximize my space, so a lot of things just kind of have to be stacked over each other, and I don't really, have the ability to consume so much coffee at once. But over here too, I also have this mat here. I think everyone should get a nice little mat just so you can work over, you can step on, it feels comfortable to stand on, and that's it. This is what I use pretty much every single day, mainly this stuff up here. Let's go ahead and actually make a drink, and I'll show you all of this in action. I'm going to actually be making a cute little cortado today. Should be sort of fun. No guarantees on the latte art. But how this works is I will just, turn on the black mirror here, and then I already, have the Lunar turned on and connected to the DE1. We'll just open up whatever random bag of coffee. I'm going to pick my, own Rwandan that I roasted because I think this is sort of dialed in for this particular profile, which is a lever or Londinium profile. Just going to dose 18 grams. That looks good. Just close this bag up. And what I'll do is I will just, move the beans to the hopper of the niche. We'll pull the portafilter out. Sometimes the portafilter will be a little wet. Just wipe it down with the towel. Like so, and then I'll stick the magnetic dosing ring on top like that. I like to just get a little bit of that water off there. But what's interesting with this is the dosing ring is heavy enough to keep the portafilter in place so you can actually grind directly or hands-free. So watch this. Look at that. And during the same time, what I'll do is I'll take the foam off the WDT tool. Okay. And I don't really weigh this after because this is a pretty good low retention grinder. So yeah, I took the foam off of the WDT tool, and what I'll do is I'll go in and we'll go in WDT. I don't really care too much about doing a super aggressive WDT because this particular profile I'm running has been really forgiving, actually, because it has a nice pre-infusion step that really eliminates any, bad puck prep. So it could look a little bit better here. I'm just going to try to fix it up a little, but it shouldn't really matter here with this profile, so I don't really care too much, and it's also a little hard for me to tell if the angles are a little set up, but looks flat enough to me. Looks good enough to tamp, so I'm just gonna give it a tamp, and that looks pretty good. So I like to just tap the Lunar to wake it up, and you can see when you tap the weight on the Lunar that the DE1 will read that you are increasing it. We're going to lock the portafilter in place. I'm going to take the, this is the not neutral Vero Cortado cup. Love this design. Super fun to use. I'm just going to put it down. And what will happen is we'll pull a shot. It'll auto tear. The scale will auto tear and the machine will auto tear or will tear the scale when you start pulling a shot. Oh, and by the way, I have my WPM pitcher with just a little bit of milk because this is a cortado. No guarantees on latte art. Okay, it's heating up right now, and what will happen is it'll start filling. This is a pre-infusion step. gonna see if we can showcase that. Not really sure if the GoPro can see that. We're getting a pre-infusion. You know, obviously the prep looks like it could be a little better, but looks all right. Getting that nice ramp up. And I'm pulling a 1 to 2, by the way, so this will just stop when it hits 36 grams. So right there. I think the could maybe grind it a little finer, but looks all right. That looks like it's okay for this particular bean, but you know, it auto stopped at 36 because that's what we want. And what I'll do now is I usually like to just take the cup, set it over here, make sure I don't knock anything over. Then we take the pitcher. I like to pull the steam one out, and then let's see if we can. This is a low amount of milk because we're just trying to pour a small low cortado. So no guarantees on latte art, but let's try to get something. That's probably enough air. That might be a little too much air. But now I'm incorporating that air throughout the foam, or the foam throughout the air, or microfoam. It's getting really hot. This is good. Let's turn it down. Turn off. Might have added just a little bit too much air. But the DE1 will auto purge, and what I'll do is I'll just take my towel and I'll just, well, wipe it down. So we're good to go. Just kind of poked myself with the WD-40 tool, so I usually like to move that out of the way. But here is the shot, and then here is our milk, which looks all right. Maybe a little too much air, but it's kind of hard to steam low volumes of milk. I'm not the best at it anyway, so okay, let's see if we can get anything. I'm just trying to really get rid of these small bubbles in here, but looks like it's a little too grainy, but it should be all right for this. Okay. Nothing super fancy, just a, well, standard heart sort of thing. Yeah, well, that's basically what I do every morning, or throughout the day. And then afterwards, you know, we like to take our puck and then just, well, knock that guy out. Sometimes I rinse with the group head, but most of the time I just walk over to my sink, which is over there, to fully clean out the portafilter and also, well, clean out the milk. But that's kind of the, well, workflow of how all this works. You know, just a fun video, show you guys what I use every day, and also, well, let's, you know, make a drink. I guess let's see how this tastes like. Yep, tastes good. It's a fairly consistent setup, but I just repeat this every single day, and like, that's my coffee making setup. Thanks for watching. It's nothing super fancy, but let me know if you have any questions on like, why did I do certain things, or what do I like about all these different little items. Happy to answer any questions there, but yeah, this is my coffee cart in February 2021. It might be a little bit different in February 2022. We'll kind of see what happens there, but thanks again for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy to chat about coffee, about any sort of stuff related to this, but yeah, have a nice day.